All right, well, let's go from a couple of super reliable players in Connor and Kamara to a less reliable player in George Pickens, but still a super talented one. And we heard from Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott talking about what makes George Pickens so special.
It's a guy that loves the game of football. So everything that you give him, and the more you give him, he's going to answer that bell, and he wants the more. He wants more as much as he can. I don't want to say I'm surprised, but he does have every tool in the bag, and it's fun to be able to get out there and, as we just said, in different periods, different throws, different kind of routes, different coverages for him to make plays. Just show he's a big-time guy, and to have another guy like that alongside CD is just going to be fun.
Okay, big year coming up for George Pickens as the presumed Robin to CeeDee Lamb Aitz's Batman. Where do you stand on George Pickens, man? Because I know he's been a very divisive player this year in the fantasy community.
I have him as a legit wide receiver 3 with upside, which is always the joke. But like I legitimately have him at wide receiver 25, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if he blows past this. Since he entered the NFL, George Pickens is second in yards per reception. And that's a stat that tells you what you already know, that he goes deep, right? So since the end of the NFL, George Pickens ranks second in yards per reception. During that time, among qualified wide receivers, Jay Croucher, George Pickens has the 4th highest average depth of target.
Wow.
Yeah, they target him deep. Oh, by the way, over the last 2 years, Dak Prescott, top 8 in the NFL in both deep pass attempts per game and deep ball accuracy. Yeah. He throws the ball deep a lot, and he's fairly accurate when he does. George Pickens is really good going deep. Ergo, ipso facto, George Pickens to the moon.
You put two things together there. There's catches he made while in Pittsburgh with some quarterbacks where he made it look like they made a good throw. And that's the thing. George Pickens could come down with the ball. That's the guy they're going to need. That's their downfield guy. And if you're worried about George Pickens to the point where, well, he's the wide receiver 2. He's going to get wide receiver 2 targets. Hell, he played for Pittsburgh. He was already getting wide receiver 2 targets. Right. Last year, 103 targets. The year before that, 106. That lines up with what Jake Ferguson had Dak Prescott's 2023 season, just above 100 targets. So George Pickens will slide into that, except to have more big plays, obviously, than a Ferguson will.
To your point, since he's come to the NFL, this is a stat that I had, but I couldn't fit into the article. George Pickens is one of the league leaders in contested catches. Like, he's just somebody that can just win a bunch of 50-50 balls, to your point. Like, he's catching it off his back, off his shoulder. Like, he's ridiculous. Andrew Smith wants to know, how much does Pickens eat into Lamb's value, Jay Croucher?
I don't think a significant amount, because I think that the Cowboys are just going to have to throw the ball a ton anyway. We see their running back room's not super inspiring. I think their defense is very thin. We'll see what happens with the Parsons situation. So I do think there is an element, Lawrence, where George Pickens does space the field a little bit for CeeDee Lamb. Will take some attention off him. Like, I just don't think that they're going to go away from CeeDee Lamb.
Absolutely not. Look, like I just said, right, in 2023, Jake Ferguson had 102 targets. That lines up with what George Pickens has been getting in Pittsburgh as the top guy. And in that 2023 season, CeeDee Lamb had 181 targets. So I don't think it'll affect him too much.
Yeah, like, we'll get to the comment in a second, but I'll just say, I'll say this, right? Like, George Pickens is not a volume guy. George Pickens is the guy who makes your day on 1 or 2 plays.
Right.
See, that passing offense is going to go through CeeDee Lamb, so I do not think it eats into his value at all. And I do think there's going to be, to your point, more than enough volume for both those guys, because I don't think they're going to run the ball.
George Pickens might even have a career high in targets, because he doesn't have to go that much higher to get that.
Yep. George Pickens is a guy that makes your day on 2, 3, 4 receptions.
Okay, coming from Jonathan Medic 17, upon hearing these Pickens stats, Croucher, which is me, just placed a bet on the Giants to win their division.
I'll tell you this. If you did it this year, you'd have a better chance than you did last year.
It's true.
Ain't a great chance.
I didn't know the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl and the Commanders were going to make the NFC title game. Wasn't banking on that. Listen, New York Giants, they might have the best defensive line in football. I don't think they're going to win the division.
No.
They're going to win 10 games or anything. But the
real talk, though, for
good.
a second. We live here. I live in Connecticut, and so obviously I'm surrounded by Giants fans. And so,
like me.
Like I'm surrounded by real Giant fans and Jay. And but I'll go to parties or whatever, and people want to always ask me, hey, what do you think about the Giants this year? Or what do you think about, and they're so downtrodden because it's been, a rough couple of years. And I'm like, look, guys, I actually think you have hope. You legitimately have a very good defense. Abdul Carter's going to be a monster. Like, he's just going to be awesome. I said Malik Neighbors is a legit superstar as well. Kind of like Theo Johnson. We'll see what you get out of Scatabo, but like feels like there's some running game there. You're a quarterback away. You're like a quarterback. Like you need help on the offensive line. You've got to strengthen the offensive line. You need one more, playmaker at receiver, tight end. But like they're not that far off. I like my point is this is my prediction. You tell me what you think about this.
Yeah.
I've said a lot of people. I said the Giants probably win like 6 games this year. But I bet you they lose every game by 1 score.
Yes.
I think they're going to just be a bitch to play every single week.
I'm seeing it, Matthew. Like I was at the Jets-Giants joint practice twice this week. The D-line, you might not even be saying might have the best D-line in short order here. But like the greatest point you made there is I think the Giants, they're not just going to come into these games and just get rolled over every week. It's definitely not going to be like that.
Yeah.
They play. My Commanders host the Giants in Week 1.
Better watch out for that.
I'm nervous, 100%. Like
you should
all the
be.
hype, that's a trap game. That's like an early Week 1 trap game.
Commanders only 6.5 point favorites there against the New York Giants.
I bet you, I will bet you that the Giants are one of the best covering teams this year.
Yep.
Like they're just going to be tough. They're going to be a tough out. They're probably 2 years away, but they're going to be a tough effing out.
Yep. Abdul Carter, 3 pass rushing snaps in his first preseason game. 3 pressures. He's going up against Deion Dawkins as well.
Yeah, I mean
he's the
awesome.
real deal.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.